My name is Joanne Abdo, and I am the coordinator of the Croatia Fest 2021 Virtual Festival, our second recorded production. Croatia Fest is part of the Seattle Center Festal series. Before COVID, our one-day event was held at the Armory Building just steps away from the famous Space Needle each October. Now in its 18th year, Croatia Fest is considered to be one of the premier ethnic festivals of the series. Croatia Fest is organized by a committee of volunteers with an additional group of community representatives. This year, our dedicated committee went out on the fields of historic Croatian neighborhoods in Anacortes and Gig Harbor, with tours of their museums and interviews with local historians and those who preserve our culture. Also, today's programming will feature a variety of cooking demonstrations, wine tasting, interviews with Croatian authors, a costume presentation by the Seattle Junior Tamburitzans, performances by the Vela Luka Croatian dancers, Radost, Rakia Band from Chicago, and much, much more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Virtual Croatia Fest 2021.
Hi, I'm Mayor Jenny Durkin. I would like to share a special greeting with the Croatia Fest and express my appreciation for the part the Croatian community has placed in the livelihood and culture of our city. Settling in the 1850s, Croats contributed to the development of Seattle and Western Washington as pioneers in commercial salmon fishing, logging, and other industries. Today, in its second virtual festival, Croatia Fest offers traditional music, performances, cooking demonstrations, historical interviews, and much more. Please accept my warmest regards for an enjoyable festival.
Our address for the new store is 1608 South Dearborn in Seattle, Washington, 98144. Founded in 1971 by John and Rose Croce, PFI offers the Northwest delicious, hard-to-find cheeses, olives, olive oil, spices, wines, and more.
Jedan mali brodić, jedan mali brodić, posred je kanala, jedan mali brodić, posred je kanala. Moj dragi, moj dragi, sa još dva monara, u njem je moj dragi, sa još dva monara. Poznam ga po idru, poznam ga po idru, šta sam ga jatkala, poznam ga po idru, šta sam ga jatkala. Svaku treću žicu, svaku treću žicu, zlato niz vezala.
Celebrating 50 years, the Seattle Junior Tamburitsans have provided the youth of Seattle the opportunity to study and perform the folkloric traditions of their ancestors through music, song, and dance, with travel, friendships, and fun. Now accepting new members ages 5 to 18. Be a part of the tradition. Visit our website at seattlejuniortammies.org.
Cross planine bada igore. Cross planine bada igore. Cross planine bada igore. Cross planine bada igore. Provoditium lados for you. Cross planine barda igore. Provoditium lados for you. Student come and progovara. Student come and progovara. Student come and progovara. Et ovile isne nada. Student come and progovara. Et ovile isne nada. Isne nada njoj se skoči. Isne nada njoj se skoči. Isne nada njoj se skoči. Hajaju in čarne oči. Iznenadan njoj se skoči. Hajaju in čarne oči.
Adriatic Travel. As our name implies, we specialize in Croatia and the surrounding areas. Let our 46 years of experience help you create your own custom tour of Croatia, assure a knowledgeable tour guide or driver, provide comfortable scenic motor coach tours, cruises to explore the amazing Croatian coastline, select the most convenient airline and contracted rates with major car companies in Croatia.
Hi everybody, my name is Božidar Jukic and I'm going to be with you today as we go through a little journey across Pelješac Peninsula. Pelješac Peninsula, in my book, the most beautiful part of Dubrovnik region, southernmost region of Croatia. Now, as a Dubrovnik local, I find myself on Pelješac a lot because this is where we go to get away from the crowds in the city, from the traffic of Dubrovnik. This is where we come to relax. For a number of reasons, by the way. Pelješac Peninsula is a renowned wine region. This area is also very famous for its seafood. And the place we're starting the tour from is one of my favorite small towns of Croatia, Ston. Ston is this old town at the very entrance to Pelješac Peninsula, and because of its unique location, it has been fought over through centuries by various armies, warlords and whatnot. Towards the beginning, well, actually more towards the middle of the 14th century, it comes under control of Dubrovnik, which by that time is already becoming slowly but surely Dubrovnik Republic. And Dubrovnik basically left a huge mark on this town, building it up to its present look. Very well preserved. We're going to take a little stroll around the city, and I'm going to show you some of its most famous sites, including its imposing city walls and the salt flats, which were key in the development of this city. Hey guys, I am just about to start climbing to the top of the city walls of Ston. Small town, so it has to be small city walls, right? Well, not really, because if I flip this camera around, you'll see what I'm talking about. These city walls are one of the longest defensive walls in Europe, still standing. Built from 1334 to 1369, well, the original ones, then they get modified over time. They are a very imposing defensive structure, and I'm going to show you a bit more. What you're looking at here is the shorter part of the city walls, just above Ston. But there is another leg of the walls that goes from Ston all the way around the hill to the other little town of Mali Ston. And this is the leg of the city walls going over the hill. As you can see, it's just stairs. Quite a bit of walking. Now I'm going to do something that most of my guests wish they can do. I'm going to fast forward through this climb. I own a little tour company called Insider Holidays, and we do tours to Ston a lot, so you would think I'd be in better shape to do these walls, but in my defense, they are very long and they are very steep. Just check this out. This is 5.5 kilometers long walls. Not this section alone, but the entire thing. And as I already mentioned, but now you can see it yourself, it's on a very steep hill going all the way up and over the hill, in fact. But from here you get amazing views, not just of Ston, but the entire area. Now, as I already mentioned, Dubrovnik gets into possession of Ston in 14th century. They build these walls and the entire little town of Ston. You can see it, it's quite small actually. But for a small town, it was very important. I mean, these walls were very expensive, without a doubt. So you can be certain that Dubrovnik Republic wanted to make sure that the investment was worth it. Aside from the walls, you have the Franciscan monastery that you're just seeing as we're walking down. So this was a very important town with regards to being a religious center. Church over there of Saint Blaise or Saint Blasius, patron saint of Dubrovnik. Behind it you can see this imposing fortress Veliki Kastil, and over there is the reason for all this. Ston salt flats. This area was renowned for production of salt. And why was that so important? I'm going to explain as soon as we get down from these city walls. So here we are, Ston Salt Flats. This is where salt, and I do mean sea salt, was extracted from the Adriatic Sea ever since the 14th century. Well, before that as well, but in the 14th century actually built this factory, this monument to the ingeniousness of Dubrovnik Republic. Now, when I say Dubrovnik Republic, by the way, I do mean a little city-state that went on from 1358 all the way to 1808. Today, city of Dubrovnik is Croatia's perhaps most renowned holiday hotspot, but in the old days, Dubrovnik was a very important regional center. It didn't start off like that, by the way. It started off as a small, poorly defended, basically a refugee camp in the year 614 AD. Later on, it turns into something much bigger and more important. It didn't achieve this success through fighting or conquering, but through diplomacy and business. You see, to secure safety, small place like Dubrovnik needed to think outside the box. This meant, well, we can't just get a lot of weapons and fight everybody because everybody around us is bigger. So we need to do something else. So what do? Well, we get one of these bigger guys to fight for us. And you can only do that through diplomacy, and diplomacy doesn't work without money. So Dubrovnik becomes very business-oriented community, and later on in 14th century it becomes its own little city-state, its own little country for all intents and purposes, Dubrovnik Republic. Now, why am I telling you all this? Because it's very important to understand why this is here. This is here, and this whole thing is here since the 14th century because stone, salt flats, could pay off for the city walls in 1 year of business. Why? Because salt was literally worth its weight in gold. It was the only way of preserving meat or fish from spoiling in warmer climate. So this was the oldest known preservative. It was extremely important. And as I said, yeah, literally worth its weight in gold. This place produces 1,000 tons of salt per year, so equivalent of 1,000 tons of gold. Not a bad business decision to get into possession of stone. This is the little town of Trstenik, which was an important port back in 15th century, mainly for exporting of wine, as it's right before the world famous Dingač appellation, Croatia's most renowned wine growing region. We are now in Grgić Winery, one of the most beautiful wineries on Croatian coast, owned by legendary Mike Grgić of Napa Valley, producing some lovely, lovely local wines. Pelješac Peninsula is marked by rugged beauty of its landscape, which is dominated by steep hills, karst terrain, descending sharply into deep blue Adriatic Sea. This is my favorite place in the whole world, probably. Dingač area of Pelješac Peninsula. Dingač is a very, very special area. It's a protected geographic appellation. Appellations are protected areas in the world of winemaking and grape growing, where certain varieties give the best results when planted there. In this case, this is our pride and joy of Croatian red wines, Plavac Mali. Now, everything you see around you are Plavac Mali vineyards, and as you can see, they go from way up in the hills to all the way down to the sea. This is a very unique location. The old folks around here used to say this area gets 3 suns, which is basically 3 distinct sources of energy. They get a lot of sun throughout the day. Believe me, it's very hot right now. For second part of the day, it's going to get this reflection of the sun from the water, heating the grapes additionally. And then tertiary, you can see these rocks all around the vineyards that are absorbing heat, and they're going to radiate it out when the sun sets. This is all limestone, dolomitic limestone at times, and it's very porous. It draws in heat, radiates. It's just a beautiful, beautiful wine growing area. And this is pretty much some of the most expensive grapes in Croatia because of such a unique position. I mean, as you can probably see yourself, there's no mechanization that can be used here for harvesting or any other work in the vineyard for that matter. All has to be done by hand. Some of these vineyards are so steep, it's actually dangerous to work in them. Sometimes people use harnesses to help them do whatever it is they need to do in the vineyard. And speaking of working in the vineyards, we are coming to the harvest season, which is going to be happening depending on the location very soon, within this next week or two. As you can see, Plavac Mali getting to be very much ripe for picking, ripe for harvesting. This one already very full of juice, very full of sugar as well. Perfect grapes. My passion in life is wine, actually, Croatian wine to be exact. And I found myself here not just because of this tour, but because I just finished filming, I think first ever English language Croatian wine course, which is going to be available through my website, wineloverscroatia.com. Yeah, we're continuing our journey over there to Orebić. Quite a town. I really enjoy going there. But yeah, this is my favorite part of Pelješac Peninsula, Dingač region. Oh, absolutely magical. You guys need to come here and check this out. So we make it to Orebić. And Orebić is a beautiful town that's been a very important port for once proud Dubrovnik Republic. Ever since the 16th century, this place has been the home of some of the best and most renowned captains of Dubrovnik. And Dubrovnik's merchant navy was, well, one of the biggest in the Mediterranean, and this was one of its main headquarters. It makes perfect sense because right over there is Korčula. Korčula is a historical town that's been traditionally under the control of the Venetians. So it makes perfect sense that this little channel was extremely important. Trade routes used to go here, and it was really important both for Dubrovnik and Venice. This is a small town today, a few thousand people, but it's absolutely beautiful, still having some of the old charm of these long promenades, old captains' homes. We're going to go around the city, we're going to film a bit, we're going to show you some of the best parts of Orebić. Today it's of course very popular because people go from here to Korčula, but it's also very, very important in its own right. Orebić, of course, as you saw already, is very close to some of the main vineyard areas of this peninsula, and is therefore extremely popular for us Dubrovnik locals as well to sort of escape here from the hustle and bustle of Dubrovnik. So I'm going to have myself a lovely coffee now, and then I'm going to walk down this promenade and enjoy some of the sights and sounds of Orebić. Captain's homes have always been known to have big gardens. It was said that seafarers used to leave the big gardens to their wives so they can plant them with exotic fruits, vegetables, and flowers their husbands will bring from long and perilous journeys around the discovered world. I can't spend too much time in Orebić, although God knows I want to. I am going straight back to Mali Ston for the final chapter of this tour, a delicious lunch, just the way I like finishing my tours. And we come to Mali Ston. Mali Ston, historical town, much like Ston, is in fact they were built at the same time. That prefix Mali, it means small or little in Croatian language, so it's Ston and small Ston, right? They are separated by a hill, but connected by the defensive wall system, if you remember from the beginning of the tour. So the city walls of Ston used to go all the way around the city and then over the hill and around this historical little town as well. The city walls around these two towns have been demolished over time, partially at least, but they are now still connecting the two towns. Now I am very excited to be here, not because this is a wonderful place, which it is, but because I am very hungry. This has been a long tour, by the way, and I can't wait to sit down in my favorite restaurant and have some seafood, because this area is renowned for seafood, especially oysters and mussels, which are cultivated here on a commercial scale since the 16th and 17th century. And one local family runs an amazing restaurant, and they have their own oyster farm and mussel farm. So I'm going to get some amazing seafood. So, how's this for a nice lunch? I think I've earned it, actually. I've been all around Pelješac, and I've been working really hard to show you guys what we have here and what's best about this area. And honestly, what in my book is the best about this area is local food and local wine, because I see them as an extension of local culture. What we have here, by the way, are some oysters. These guys are grilled, these guys are raw. This is how we usually eat them. We have some amazing red buzara sauce shrimp, or I should say prawn probably, very fresh tuna tartare, and my favorite, mussels buzara, white buzara sauce. This is how we eat this guy. This is a local tip for you guys. That's it. Well, I hope you had a nice time with me. I certainly have enjoyed my day on Pelješac, as I always do, but I'm about to enjoy this lunch as well. Until next time, I bid you adieu, stay healthy, and see you next year on Pelješac.
The Vela Luka Croatian Dance Ensemble, founded in Anacortes, Washington in 1975, performed music and dance of Croatia, accompanied by musicians and vocalists of Bonaca and Ruže Dalmatinke. Historically, 1/4 of the residents of this unique island community are descended from immigrants of another fishing village, Vela Luka, on the island of Korčula, Croatia. Vela Luka Croatian Dance Ensemble maintains a cross-cultural link between the Puget Sound region and Croatia, preserving Croatian folkways and culture for generations to come. For more information, visit www.velaluka.org or email info@velaluka.org.
Dobar dan I dobro nam došli. My name is John Morovic. Welcome to the first of two segments filmed for Virtual Croatia Fest 2021, entitled Obnovimo stare užance, Renewing Our Old Traditions. This special segment features members of the Vela Luka Croatian Dance Ensemble of Anacortes, Washington. What makes this program unique is that the folk dances presented here have a special connection to the Croatian community of Puget Sound, particularly the dances of the island of Korčula. The Vela Luka Croatian Dance Ensemble was founded in 1975 in Anacortes, Washington, located on Fidalgo Island, spearheaded by the George Franolovic family and community members for the mission of cultural preservation and presentation. The Franolovic sisters, Maria, Alma, and Binky, realized that in this country, it does not take long to lose one's ethnic and cultural identity, and that work must be done to preserve, educate, share, and enjoy. 1/4 of the residents of this unique community of Anacortes are descended from immigrants from another fishing village, Vela Luka, on the island of Korčula, Croatia. The performers in the Vela Luka Croatian Dance Ensemble represent 4 generations of Croatian Americans who have introduced their culture's extraordinary choreography and music to people all over the world. Forming a cross-cultural link between the Puget Sound and Croatia, the company strives to preserve Croatian folkways and culture for generations to come. Enjoy this performance of the Vela Luka Croatian Dance Ensemble.
Suru za ruku odmah s mjesta. Obrni je. Jeli je s mjesta. Dosta je tako, sad ćemo novo. Daj mi krilo, bijelo vilo. Vrati krila, losti vila. Dosta je tako, sad ćemo novo. Grli je s mesta. Napole vorna, napole otvorna. Ostavi svaki. Dosta je tako, sad ćemo novo. Suru za ruku, odmah s mjesta. Digni jače da vidim gađe. Gaće, gaće, pa nema gađe. Napole vorna, napole otvorna. Osebi svaki. Daj mi plesku, polopu, desku, pljeska, pljeska, neka, neka. Oboči mi se odmah s mjesta. Uzgo ruke, nokće sama. Ostavi svaki. Vrti, vrti žavle. Do stelo man, jer se me pomak vrti odmah. Ajde pol treći, plaćamo liričar. Ma što ste stali, ali ste stari, igraj kolo, igraj solo. Odvrni je. Curi za ruku, odmah s mjesta. I odvrni je. Grli je s mjesta.
One of the most recognizable folk garments in the Puget Sound region is from Velaluca and the neighboring older settlement of Blato. The garment, although simple in its construction, is void of the embroidery and weaving we see in other parts of Croatia. But nonetheless, it is quite elegant and flattering. Made out of imported black cotton, the weight of denim, the garment is sewn out of square and rectangular pieces as to have no waste of fabric. The majority of adornments are red ribbons and rosettes on the shoulder and often an imported silk belt, coral and gold jewelry. In 1974, Maria Fnalovich Petrish traveled to her birthplace of Velaluca for the first time and was inspired to form the Velaluca Dancers. At that time, she met folklorist Maria Šebetic and obtained an original Velaluca costume. The next year, Maria Šebetic traveled to Anacortes to teach the traditional dances of Velaluca, including Tanac, Četiri pasa, Dva pasa, Trepavica, and Manfrina. Immediately, the group began performing these dances, and this is the first time on the American continent when traditional costumes, songs, and dances of a specific region of Croatia were performed solely by dancers who traced their roots to that town. Dozens of these garments have been recreated for the Velaluca dancers. Let us now look at dances from the island of Korčula, choreographed by Željko Jergan, from primary research conducted by Maria Šebetic, Milan, and Goran Oreb. We will now see traditional garments from the Konavle region, south of the city of Dubrovnik, in southern Croatia. Arguably one of the most beautiful in all of Croatia, tourists to Dubrovnik and the Konavle region will see women wearing these on Sundays and on festive occasions. A set of garments was sewn by Maria's mother, Alma Frnolović Plančić, in 1980 for the well-known Seattle-based Ružice Folk Choir, and this particular garment was sewn for Maria when she was just 14 years old. Garments worn in the summertime consist of a tunic called košulja, which have a breastplate called poprsnica, which is intricately embroidered with domestically harvested and dyed silk threads, with matching adornments on the sleeve. The black belt is called tkanica, which is tied with a silk ribbon called kurđelica. The apron or pregača is woven. The women of Konavle are known for their braided hairstyle and woolen cap, embroidered with gold threads, called bareta zlatača. This hat was sewn by Alma Plančić. Unique to this region is the intricately sewn jačerma or vest, which is Levantine in style. The jačerma and embroidered pieces were purchased by Maria in Croatia in 1990. Although Dubrovnik is known for its mild winters, a wool tunic called modrina was worn over the top of the white cotton tunic for warmth. This particular modrina was spotted by John Morovic in a second-hand store, where it was misidentified as being Turkish. Knowing its history and value, he purchased it for $40 and gifted it to Alma Plančić. Vela Luka dancers Ana Maria and John Lovric are modeling authentic garments from the town of Vrlika in the mountainous Dalmatinska Zagora region, just a few miles inland from the Adriatic coast. These garments are a part of a complete set of originals obtained by the Vela Luka dancers in the late 1980s. These garments are made of heavy linen and wool, due to a more harsh climate with colder winters, and are similar in design to others in the Dinaric Mountains and further into the Balkan Peninsula. The women's costume is comprised of an embroidered linen tunic, a wool waistcoat, a woven apron, and a distinctive belt with decorative shells. The men's garment is made of the same materials, which includes a wool vest, a coat, and the iconic wool hat with black long fringe. The folklore of Dalmatinska Zagora is unique insomuch as folk dancing is largely done without musical accompaniment. The Njemo kolo or Gluho kolo is performed just to the rhythm of the feet. The dance is on the UNESCO list of intangible heritage. Let's now look at an example of Vrličko kolo.
Stoj.
The region of Zagrebačko Prigorje has one of the most iconic Croatian folk costumes. Settled in the hills north of the city of Zagreb are several hamlets which include Šestine, Markuševac, and Gračani. The people of Prigorje grew fresh fruits and vegetables and still to this day sell them at the famed Dolac market in Zagreb's city center, many of whom still wear this colorful folk costume. Some of the earliest pictures of these costumes appeared in National Geographic in the 1920s. The women of Prigorje were also the laundresses for the Zagreb city folk, washing clothes by hand. Although modern dress has for the most part replaced folk costumes on a daily basis, they are worn for festive occasions. Here we see an authentic Prigorje garment modeled by Maria Plančić-Kesovia. It was acquired by her cousin Michael Petriš in 1988 when he trained with the Croatian National Dance and Music Ensemble Lado. He then gifted it to Maria. Maria also trained with Lado for 9 months in 1992 and 93. The garment is made of several parts: a blouse called opleče, a jumper called rubača, an apron called fertun, which are woven with homegrown linen, and the iconic svileni rubec or silk scarf worn over the apron. Worn with this garment are hand-knitted socks called čarape and leather shoes called opanki. The headscarf called rubec engleški or English scarf, which is made of a printed cotton fabric. The vest that we see is now quite rare. It is called kožulac, which is decorated with hundreds of leather sequins and trimmed with fur.
Vellaluca has been blessed with talented dancers and vocalists, from folk dance to ballroom, to ballet to opera. Several dancers trained internationally in national folk ensembles, bringing their talent and knowledge to their ensemble. Vellaluca has performed locally, nationally, and internationally for over 45 years. The ensemble in 1988, 1990, and 2000 ventured on performance tours to their homeland, joyously experiencing and learning about the rich culture. From the rededication of the Statue of Liberty in 1986 in New York to the 20th anniversary of Dance This at Seattle's Paramount Theater in 2018, Vellaluca has been honored to participate in all events, realizing they are continuing their mission of cultural preservation. We hope that you have enjoyed today's programming, spotlighting our efforts in preserving Croatian traditions. We would like to thank the Vellaluca Croatian Dance Ensemble Director Maria Franulovic-Petric, Artistic Director and Featured Dancer Maria Kasovia, additional featured dancers John Lovrich, Ana Maria Dulama Lovrich, and Tibor Horvath. We would especially like to thank McCaw Hall, Seattle Center Studios, crew and staff, Shane Canody, Greg Zatloka, Heather Ryan, and Andrew Steen. Seattle Center Festal and Festal organizers Heidi Jackson and Vivian Hong. We hope that we will be able to gather again next year in person at the Seattle Center. Hvala I do viđenja.
Family owned and operated for more than 75 years, Pacific Seafood is proud to provide the healthiest, freshest protein on the planet. Now shipping sustainable fish, shrimp, oysters, Dungeness crab, steaks, and more direct to your door. Order today at pacificseafood.com.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our culinary journey today. I'm Tvrtko Tadic, and I will be taking you through one of my favorite Croatian recipes, the octopus, hobotnica. We are here at the famous Pike Place Market to get all the ingredients we need. We're in front of the Pure Food fish market, where I usually get my octopus. We're gonna go inside and ask what they have. Sometimes they have larger octopi, sometimes they have smaller ones. Smaller ones are better because they're easier to prepare. On the other hand, if you get a larger one, it's also okay. You just need to cook it a bit more. They usually offer it frozen, which is actually pretty good because otherwise you need to freeze it or beat it up so that the meat kind of softens a bit. And okay, let's go inside and get it. We're here at the vegetable place at Pike Place Market, where we would usually get our vegetables. So the main ingredient for the octopus is the potatoes, and we need like 2 medium-sized potatoes per guest that you're having for dinner or lunch, and some additional vegetables like carrots, Brussels sprouts, and things like that, which you will see in the rest of when we do the octopus actually. And we need also some spices, like for example we use the garlic for spice, parsley, and things like that. Let me go and take a look at what they have here. Okay. Hello everyone. So we're now in well, his kitchen. This is Mislav. He was kind enough to let us use his kitchen, and we will do the octopus. So these are the
And
four.
you are?
I already introduced myself. I'm
Did you
Tvrtko. Yeah, I did it at the beginning at the Pike Place. Okay, so these are the four octopi we got at the Pike Place market, and these are the potatoes. And we will start preparing the octopus.
So how much octopus did you buy?
This is officially 7 pounds, but since it's frozen, I'm not sure it's all meat. But yeah. Okay, so this is the pot we will use. Mislav, can you help me out and turn on the water? I'll put the octopus.
Okay, so I need to fill the water.
Yeah, you can fill the water. Okay, that's enough because we're gonna spill it over from halfway. Okay, so let's add it here. Oh.
Bit more water, huh?
Yeah, we'll add water. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, so we got relatively small octopi, so we will probably just cook them like roughly 30 to 40 minutes. So each one is like a 2 to 3 pounds.
So start off with hot water, cold water, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay, let's just put it on the stove, and now it will take 30 to 40 minutes for them to.
All right. So what are we making as a side for the octopus?
Well, we can do that. Yeah, sure. Let's make the salad.
All right. What is the salad?
The green one.
Green salad.
The green salad. So let's do that. Actually, we can always. So this is
just regular organic lettuce.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, we can do that while we're waiting for the water to boil. I generally wash out the leaves. Mislav, can you tear them apart?
Just with hands, huh?
Yeah, just with hands. Okay.
Nice healthy bunch.
Yeah, looks green.
All right.
Yes.
So you soak it in water and keep it in.
Yeah. So we're gonna so for the camera, the camera can see we chopped it up into pieces, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put water in. I'm gonna pour water over it, and just in case some microorganism might have survived, I'm gonna put salt in the water. So that basically it uniformly distributes. You can mix it up.
All right.
I'll take a look what's happening in our
So how long do you soak it usually?
like 10 to 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah.
All right. Okay, we
Okay.
can put it on the.
And while we're doing that, we can chop up the garlic.
Are you gonna do the honors, or do you want me to chop?
Oh, you can do that.
All right.
You can. Here's
How much garlic do you want? 2, 3 cloves.
what this is enough
This is enough. Okay.
for
One clove of
the
garlic.
just peel it first.
Yeah, I usually just like hit it like this and then it pops off really easy.
Sure.
Take the end off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
And now do the.
Yeah. So always use the claw method, right? So you don't cut yourself. Huh. All right. Chop it off a little bit more, huh?
Okay, so that's the
So
garlic.
that's gonna be for the salad.
That's for the salad. There's gonna be garlic also for the octopi when we're done.
Do you want me to prep that as well?
I mean that's
not for
two hours down the road, so it's
Okay,
we're
let's
not
put it on a
we're not
plate.
there yet.
salad then.
Okay.
So now we wait for the thing to boil and then
Yeah.
we come back.
We wait for the thing to boil and we come back.
Okay.
Okay, so we can talk a bit while we're waiting for the salad. We can talk how this generally looks in Croatia. So people generally prepare octopus. I'm aware of two ways. Mislav can add if he knows more. So usually it's either the salad or it's like, baked with potatoes.
Mhm.
You aware of any other?
No, I'm not much of an octopus eater
Okay.
growing up in Zagreb, but you also grew up in Zagreb.
But yeah,
right?
but that's I actually like this. It's pretty complicated to make, at least the way I'm doing it, because it takes 3 hours. So it's usually like for special dinners and occasions.
Mhm.
It's not something you like eat every day, and people do it in various ways. So the way we're doing it here is first we're gonna cook it, and then we're gonna bake it in the oven. But like in Croatia, it would be like in a more traditional style oven, which would call it peka, which would be like with hot you would put it in some kind of a, well, I'm never 100% sure how, like in some kind of a pot that you would then cover, and then you would
Cover with like hot charcoal so it
Yeah.
burns from
yeah,
both sides.
and then so it's usually it would be the other way around. It would be actually you would put the octopus and the potatoes in something like this, and then you would have a cover that would fully cover it, and then you would put you put charcoal, as Mislav described it, all around it. If the potatoes were charcoals, you would just put it with a shovel,
Mhm.
and then you would like wait for it to be done.
All right.
Yeah, so that's how it's done there. You can find more online if you're interested. But since we don't have that setting here, we're gonna go with the oven.
So you learned this recipe
Oh, I learned
in the oven or on the peka?
in the oven, of course. And it took me a while because, people sometimes make mistakes and they try to make an octopus. You just put it on the, like when you can bake potatoes in the oven, and you think, well, I can do just the same with the octopus as I do with the meat. But then, if you don't prepare it very well, it can turn out to be rubbery, very hard to eat. So it's not always. That's why it takes a bit longer. You need to know how to prepare.
So what else are we making today? So usually octopus, you don't need just the main course. We also have something before, a soup. I see some bags behind.
Yeah, but the bags, we will do the soup also, but that is since this is gonna have to be baked for over an hour, that happens during that time. Yeah.
So this is like a simple soup from the bag. The 10 minutes one.
It's not fully. We're gonna add some vegetables in it. It's a semi-simple soup.
Okay.
It's not the highest complexity. We did not grab. Yeah, we will add some vegetables also.
So how do we usually eat this? In which orders? I know some cultures have soups at the beginning. Some cultures have it at the end. How do you prepare this? Serve this?
So we'll have the soup, then we'll have the octopus with the potatoes and the salad, and then we will have
We'll have some ice cream, maybe.
I don't know. Since I haven't planned, the main star of this show is the octopus.
So for dessert, you can do whatever you wish.
Yeah, for dessert, that's for next year's show.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna finish off the salad. So as I said, I usually put it in this and then wait a bit because there's some water that stays inside after the.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just do that. Okay, you can. So yeah, this is okay. And now let's take some olive oil.
All right.
Okay, so let's take some olive oil. Lemon. Where's the lemon? Oh, here it is. Okay, so Mislav, you can do the honors with the lemon.
Okay. I like using the lemon squeezer. That's my favorite tool in the kitchen. Can I do the lemon squeezer?
Sure, you can do
Yes!
it. Of course you can do it.
Yes. Oh, but this might be a big lemon for this. That's good. No, it's not gonna fit.
What, it's too big?
Yeah. Well, maybe if I take this half, it's gonna fit in. Just right. So how much lemon? Like
A half a lemon is I think
half
enough.
a lemon. Like this. All right.
Okay, and we're gonna add a spoon of olive oil, tablespoon of olive oil. It can be a bit more. It's not a, I'm not. Okay.
All right.
Okay, and now we just need to mix it up.
Do you put the garlic right away?
Oh, you put the garlic in.
The whole thing, or?
Yeah, everything.
Let's sprinkle the garlic. It's interesting. Like in my family, we didn't use a lot of garlic. We just use.
Okay.
We just had the green salad with some oil, salt, and vinegar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, vinegar can be. I mean, the lemon is here just as the same as vinegar. And then we're gonna mix it up a bit. Oh, yeah, we're gonna mix it up. And basically, that's the salad. So basically, that's one part of our meal, the salad.
And so you keep it in the fridge until everything.
Well, I mean, we can keep it outside. It's not like we're gonna take so long. But usually we do it a bit late. When the octopus is in the oven and before it's done, because it doesn't take long. Here, for the simplicity of the show, we're gonna put it here. So it's no longer in our.
All right.
Okay, now we need to wait until basically this boils, and then half an hour after that. Okay, we're back. So the octopus has been boiling for some 20-30 minutes, and we're ready to prepare the potatoes and lay the octopus to the oven. We started heating the oven at 355 Fahrenheit degrees. In general, the practice, at least that's what they say in Croatia, is that you shouldn't use olive oil and temperatures higher than 180 Celsius, which is 356 Fahrenheit. Okay, we'll show the octopus a bit later. Let's first start the potatoes.
All right. So we need to peel them.
Yeah, we need to peel the potatoes, and we're also gonna add some carrots.
All right. I'm gonna start peeling them.
Start peeling the potatoes.
Can you prep the cold water for the pot? So what kind of potatoes are these? Did you take like
Golden potatoes.
Golden.
So yeah, it's recommended medium-sized potatoes. So it should be a bit less than these are. So like 2 medium-sized potatoes per person. So I estimated
this is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
Yeah.
6 potatoes.
Yeah, so we're like working on a 6-person basis, I guess. But there'll be also other things because we're adding some other vegetables. I mean, you can do it. You can just have the potatoes. I add some carrots. We're gonna add some lima beans and Brussels sprouts as well.
Lima beans.
Yeah.
Those I never had those.
In Croatia, we call them bob.
Bob.
The Brussels sprouts, they can be I mean, you can have frozen because we're gonna put them in the oven and they're gonna. And lima beans. And carrots. Well, they're relatively fresh because we have to cut them. But.
Right.
So we plan to add several what we would call them spices, but like in the United States, that would not quite be that. So.
So what is it? Is it vegeta?
So yeah, of course, vegeta comes with with everything. We are adding salt and rosemary, and we also will add some basil and parsley. But Mislav has some fresh growing in the apartment, so we're gonna use that. So generally, what I do is I usually cut the potato in half, and then I try to do smaller slices. So I like it to absorb the juices that the octopus produces. So it's kind of, so I like it to be thinner. If it's not, it's kind of like chip size. Okay, and the next one is gonna go.
You put them in the back in the water.
Yeah, I put them back in the water and I put salt in the water so that.
More water, so we cover them.
So yeah, I like it thin because sometimes when I used to experiment early, like if they were too thick, then they wouldn't absorb the the spices and the juice that the octopus produces. So they would be pretty dry. So it'd be like like you were eating something that wasn't really part of the meal. There's a lot of stuff. So.
Alright. So you'll now like drain this off and put new water.
We'll drain it. Yeah, we'll kind of mix it up a bit so that so it kind of washes out, and then we'll drain it. Okay, give me. Okay. Okay, let's wash it a bit, and then we'll add. Okay.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, and let's put water and then we can attend to the octopus.
By the way, the octopus, we started on high heat until it like started boiling, and then we just reduced it. Now it's like medium low setting.
Okay. So let's add some salt.
Some salt. Where does the salt come from?
So yeah, we have some Croatian salt that we
From the island of Pag.
Yeah, that we were able to buy in Seattle area. Okay, let's. Okay, so we mix up a bit so that the salt gets distributed all around. Cool. And now, now let's get the.
So now we drain the
Okay,
octopus.
so let's show to the audience how the octopus looks like after it was cooked. So here's an example of the octopus. So the recipe says that you should pick it up and then put it cool it instantly. So let's do that. Let's use this thing. Okay, let's do the other ones. Okay.
Oh look, it's sticking on my finger.
Did you count? Does it have 8 hands? Or whatever it is.
No.
Okay.
I'm assuming it does. So we cool it a little bit, huh?
Yeah, we do instant cooling.
Right.
Okay, so that's what the recipe said. I don't know. I don't do it always, but okay. And we preserve some of the juice
So the water we just keep the water. From
we
the
keep some of the water. Yes, since we don't need the pot. That's so yeah, we can turn it off, and we don't need the pot, so that's good.
We can put it on the side.
Yeah, we can put it on the side, and let's put the okay. So the octopi are ready to be. No, we don't need the cutting board.
Okay. So we're gonna put the bed of the.
Yeah. We're making the bed for the octopus.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, we're gonna put probably 2 or 3 of them at the same time. Okay, so let's. So what do we first do? We first take the olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
Let's. Okay. This is cool. Okay, so we put the olive oil. So just. I would generally measure it, but since I'm. Okay, so the olive oil. And now we try to kind of do it a bit so that it will go around. Okay, and we put the first layer of potatoes. Oh, you have that. Okay, cool. I didn't know. Okay, so we're gonna put the layer of potatoes on.
And some carrots.
Yeah, a layer of potatoes and carrots. Okay, cool. And okay, that is the layer of potatoes and carrots. Okay, let's put some more lima beans also to make it more. Okay, so this is a part where whatever a person wants, they can put. So I like to make it look a bit colorful. So we'll also put some Brussels sprouts. Okay. And we put a layer of spices. So vegeta.
Vegeta is like the all-purpose seasoning.
Yeah.
For our new viewers.
Yeah. For those who
Not
are not
familiar with Croatian cuisine.
Yeah, it's something you don't live without. Okay.
Brussels sprouts are here.
Okay, let's put some Brussels sprouts.
And do you salt it more?
No, we won't salt it. We already put the salt in the water, so I'm not gonna do that. But we can. So I generally add. I add some rosemary. It's not always easy getting these things out, but you practice that. It doesn't have to be a lot, so it's okay. And we're gonna stick with dried basil, but you can use the fresh one just because it's cut into so thin leaves that Okay, and okay, let's.
We can garnish it later with the fresh one.
Yeah, we can do. Yeah. Let's. So we add another layer of potatoes. Okay, and carrots, whatever.
There's some tongs here.
Yeah. And okay. And now, okay, so it's just another layer.
So how many octopus will you put inside this one? Because
I'm thinking about that, and I'm also thinking how much. Okay, so this layer is now we put some oil on it.
Somewhere here.
Actually, I mean, I will add some olives actually. I usually like to put olives they're whole olives with the pit inside. Yeah, so they're mixed Greek olives that I bought at QFC.
Ooh, this is gonna make nice video. Me trying to open capers. Oh, here. I'm successful.
Okay. Do we have a? Okay, let's put that also in the. I mean,
this much.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Okay, so we're gonna put capers. So for people who are not familiar with these things, capers are usually grow in the Mediterranean by the sea, usually by some wall or things like that. So they're
some what?
Wall, usually in the dry wall or something like that. I'm okay, and so I guess this is let's so since we put the olives, we're gonna skip the olive oil and we're gonna put the octopi on it.
All right.
Okay, so help me out with this.
Yeah, just press.
Oh, okay. So one. We'll see how they nest nicely. Okay, yeah. Let me.
So you put them head down or head up?
I put them head down usually, but let's skip the biggest one for the
other pot.
For the other pot, we'll put the smaller ones. Although I have a hard time deciding which ones are they, but okay, let's look at this. It's gonna be fine. Okay, let's put it here. Okay, and now we put some spices over it again. And
more vegeta.
Yeah, vegeta, and also the.
You put salt, pepper.
Which you can put that, but I already put salt in the water, so I don't. I don't
Oh,
know.
you salted the
Yeah,
water.
well,
with
yeah,
the
so,
octopus.
yeah, so I salt the water with the potatoes, and also the water with the octopus is not salted actually. But we will now do some. So now we apply another layer of these spices. Okay, basil again. And some olive oil. Can you do you have the this thing? Yeah, we'll need this thing. So okay, so let's just put
You put it on the octopus.
directly, and then I just go around it. Okay. I just don't want to put too much oil, but then it has to be so that okay, so we're gonna just go around and a bit apply it so that it's equally distributed. Okay, and I believe that is it for this. But we can put some potatoes so that so it covers a bit. We still have some since Okay, so these, and here, and also. Okay, and one more olive that I have here. I mean, you can do all the combinations you like. It's nothing. You can't really go that wrong with this combination. Okay, and let me just put a vegeta last thing, and yeah, and one last touch of olive oil, I guess, on the potatoes, and that's basically okay. Let's do it. Okay, that's basically it. So
now I feel the second one.
But we were just gonna show. So we put the lid on, and this is the important part. So it's supposed to be lidded so that it doesn't it cooks better that way. Okay, so let's do the other one.
So let me see if I.
Oh yeah, I forgot one last thing. So we add like some juice that the octopus led. So it's it's a bit of the what octopus let out during cooking. But yeah, that's fine. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. And basically that's it. That's how you prepare the octopus, and you leave it like this.
Okay. So now I do
So
the second one.
you put this in the oven. Yeah, we do the second one. Okay, Mr.
So let's see if I remember this correctly.
Yeah, you just copy me.
So we start with some olive oil on the bottom. Ooh.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Just go around and reuse.
Right. And then we have
I'll
some
prepare you.
potatoes. You can, I can prepare some olives.
Yeah, I prepare you the olives.
Or we can make the second one without olives. I think honey doesn't make that really.
I mean, we can put less of them.
Yeah,
It
we
doesn't
can put
matter
a bit
if
less.
we're not. We don't.
Right, so one layer of these. And we leave enough for the second layer. So now we get vegeta. Sprinkle some vegeta.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Is that a lot?
I mean, it's. I think you're.
Okay, and some basil and rosemary, right?
Yeah, there's more rosemary. Where's the? Oh, okay, this is the lid of the vegeta. Okay.
Evenly. Oh, did you mention we need some garlic maybe?
Garlic is gonna come at the end.
At the end.
With wine. You pour wine with garlic and parsley.
And so now we set the second layer now.
Yeah. Now it's the second layer, so you can put some. So this is gonna be a lower level. So so we can put some. It seems I might have not evenly distributed the potatoes. That's okay.
That's fine. Okay, some capers.
Capers and some
Grind
lima
this
beans.
out.
Yeah. So we're gonna reverse the process. We're gonna put the olives and capers on the first layer, and then we're gonna put the lima beans and the.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
So now put the second layer, and then we're gonna put the Brussels sprouts in. And what are those called? Lima
Beans.
Lima beans. These?
Yeah. Okay.
Much.
That's okay.
Brussels sprouts.
I usually take them. Yeah, I don't put too many of them.
All right. Some more
Okay.
seasoning.
Yeah, you can put that, and then put the whatever we have left of the potatoes, and then put the octopus, and then do another
Then
top.
maybe a little bit of oil on top.
Yeah, and that's it.
All right.
It's a big one, so try to spread it out. Yeah,
Yeah, this.
yeah,
It's nice.
something like that.
Then we put the rest of the potatoes in. And the carrots. All right, and a bit of olive oil still on the top.
Yeah, and then you distribute it around. Yeah, okay, that's enough.
Right.
Okay, and then here's a few olives that are remaining, and yeah, put some vegeta,
some
and,
vegeta
yeah,
on
and
the
that's
top.
and that's basically it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give you some.
I like to put a bit more spices than pepper, I think. But I guess it's a personal preference.
Yeah, I mean, you try it out, and then you see.
We'll see which one gets better scores.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah,
Rosemary.
okay.
And if I remember correctly, that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. I'm just
So
putting
just cover it, put
some additional juice,
some
so that
juice.
it's not that dry, and yeah, that's it. Okay.
All right, and now we stick it in the oven, huh?
Yeah, we stick it in the oven, and in an hour we're back. Okay, so oven is opened. We're putting the first one.
Of course, mine is better because it has more vegeta.
Yeah, just let me see how this is, so it doesn't turn out that dry, since I know how the okay, and yeah, so that I might have not placed. Okay, cool. Okay, it's gonna be fine. Okay, let's put it in.
And so how many minutes should we put on a timer?
I mean, put it an hour and 10.
Okay, that's 70 minutes.
An hour and 10, and then we'll put it out, and we have to put the wine
And then
stuff.
we put the wine and then we continue.
Like after an hour and 10 minutes of baking.
Right.
So let's see how the octopus looks like.
Okay, I'll take it out.
Yeah, maybe the red one first.
Should I keep the other one inside?
Yeah, keep the other one inside. It's okay.
Oh.
Okay, the moment of truth.
And voila. What do you say?
Looks pretty good. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're just putting the, parsley, basil, and garlic mix with wine over it, so it gets an aroma.
Nice, you can hear the sounds.
Yeah,
Like boiling the wine.
yeah. I think everything evaporated, so it's gonna. Okay, and let's just do some more. Actually, this is the bigger one, so yeah, we can do some more. Okay.
What do we put it back in or just?
Yeah, put it
inside?
back in, but with the lid, without the lid.
Oh, back in the oven.
Yeah, back in the oven for like 10 minutes without the lid. The lid stays here. Okay.
We will put on the side. Watch not to get burned, huh?
Yeah, okay. And
we'll
we'll take the other, take the okay, that one's a little bit more complicated, but hopefully we can do it. Oh yeah, put it there.
All right.
We're gonna show it.
All right. We put this back in.
Okay.
All right. And then I season this one, huh? All right. So I put some of the basil and stuff.
You can basically spill all of it. Yeah, this one's gonna have more garlic than better.
This is gonna be nice and garlicky. I like that. Okay, so back in
the oven, yeah, and like
lid on, lid off.
lid off.
Just hold it.
All right, lid off, and we have 10 minutes.
For 10 minutes, about.
Yeah. Okay,
So that's one soup serving, and now we're gonna take the
main
one. Mine or yours?
the main
Do you
actor.
want mine or yours?
Well, it doesn't matter. Like, let's
I'll
just,
take both of them out.
okay. Let's just take one because we need to cut them. So
Okay.
we'll take yours because it's simpler to do.
better.
Yeah, it also looks
All right.
okay. It's not causing any problems. Okay, so you basically simply cut the octopus. Along its
Looks nice.
legs.
It's
and-
delicious.
Yeah.
So we put some potatoes, some of the stuff that we
Yeah.
baked.
Yeah, so the idea is that the potatoes absorb like some of the moisture and juices that are being produced, like by olives and other things. Okay, and let's put the people are usually scared, but the head is also eatable. Many people ask that. Okay, and
All right. Great
okay,
job.
so this is what you get in the end. Okay, thank you everyone for watching the video. Hope you have a good experience making your own octopus. And as I said, it's best done when you share your, all the success of making it with your friends. So thank you everyone for coming, and let's enjoy the octopus.
Živěli. And dobar tek.
Okay.
Always look in the eye when you're cheaters.
Yeah.
They'll tell you why later.
Okay, great.
All right.
Okay, great. Yeah, let's see.
Lipi grazdi srca moga, puni vina njegovoga, a on neće doći u njemu tu. Boku mora, boku neba, lipa, kamen cvita kad ga gleda, a di neću ja. Na me stavi kap ljubavi, malo mi za sreću triba, da me zove moja lipa, da mi kažu zlato moje, lipe usne te njegove, bilo moja dalmatinska, želja se u tilu stiska, bez njega je duša suva, ka i maslina bez ulja, bez njega je duša suva, ka i maslina bez ulja. U traverši nebo ima modre zvizde, diče s njima, stavlja i u oči njegove. Oko mora, oko neba, kamen cvita kad ga gleda, a di neću ja. Na me stavi kap ljubavi, malo mi za sreću triba, da me zove moja lipa, da mi kažu zlato moje, lipe usne te njegove, bilo moja dalmatinska, želja se u tilu stiska, bez njega je duša suva, ka i maslina bez ulja, malo mi za sreću triba, da me zove moja lipa, bez njega je duša suva, ka i maslina bez ulja, bez njega je duša suva, ka i maslina bez ulja.
For over 20 years, Central Automotive has been South King County's one-stop shop for full-service automotive maintenance and repair, as well as full-service detailing. From getting your Subaru ready for the mountains, providing Jeep off-road customization, maintaining your daily driver, and everything in between, our Croatian family-owned shop is here to provide all your service needs. Give us a call or schedule an appointment at centralavauto.com today.
Zbog tebe plačem i kad sunca više. Zbog tebe majka skoro i sve. Zbog tebe niko ne da Seattle. We're coming to you from Casa de Pablo Peresha in LaGrange Park. Unfortunately, we were supposed to be in Seattle first weekend in October, and it's not going to happen. We all know why. We're not going to dwell on it. We're going to move on. Hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah. Cheers, Seattle.
Yeah. Je.
Cheers, Seattle. Cheers, Seattle. Oh.
So sit back, relax, enjoy.
Oh man, I'm drinking Corona.
I'm gonna up the ante a little bit.
Oh man. You're drinking Corona. Oh man.
I'll play a few songs for you.
Yeah.
Grab a drink, chill out. Start a fire, pop some popcorn.
There you go. There we go. No, does anyone have a beer or somebody, please? Man, no. I can't see you right
Steve's
there.
having a panic attack.
Yeah, right. Somos como las
At Ancestry Cellars, we are all about family and the connections that we have with each other. Whether you are a seasoned wine lover or a newcomer, we can't wait to share our wines with you and help you create lifelong friendships and memorable experiences. Visit ancestrycellars.com.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us today. So, I'm Jason, the owner winemaker for Ancestry Cellars, and this is great. This is probably our 5th or 6th year of being part of Croatia Fest. I'm super excited to be able to take part and have some people in person this year and hang out for a little bit. So we're going to do a quick tasting through of the wines that we have selected for our Croatia Fest pack for this year, and questions, answers, all that kind of good stuff too. Whatever you want to talk about, it's all fair game. So I'm going to start us off. We need some wine in the glasses here. So a little bit of our 2018 Reunion Chardonnay. Thank you.
So why is it called Reunion?
Yeah, so everything that we do is a family focus, and you'll see like all the names of our wines or the different blends that we do have a family link to them or some kind of a family event type deal. So for instance, the Reunion, think nice white wine, summertime, family reunions, family get-togethers, things along those lines. And we'll talk a bit more about our Le Sœur, which is our Merlot-based Bordeaux style blend, and our Crocon, which is a Cabernet-based blend, and the names that go behind those and how I came up to it as well. So a little bit about this wine. My wife Erin and I moved over to Chelan about 3 years ago, and this is from a vineyard over in Chelan called Clos Cheval, which is part of the Lake Chelan AVA, and this is our 2018 Chardonnay. We do 100% barrel fermented Chardonnay, so it means that we basically get the juice, squish the grapes, put it into the barrels, let it take off, do its thing with yeast. We do use mostly neutral oak, so the barrels have had other vintages through them before, which gives a little lighter hand on the really heavy oaky front. Gives kind of more of a hazelnut toasty note to it, some golden delicious apple, pear flavors, and then a little bit of redness on the finish too. So main thing we're here for is to try the wine. Yeah, so we'll go on to our next wine. And this is our 2017 Provençal Red Blend. And this is where the family fishing and winemaking story really comes into play. So Provençal is a loose play on the word defiance translated into French, which was my grandfather's fishing boat. And my grandpa is the one that I started making wine with as a kid in the basement. And so this one we lovingly kind of call our kitchen sink blend, which is an interesting homage to the time on the boat. I remember specifically one time that the crew, they were trying to make a rosé and decided to start with the red as the base instead of the white, and I don't know why that was, but you could pour almost as much white wine in there as you ever wanted, and it never became a rosé. We're talking jug wines, right? So it wasn't really, it was interesting. But this one is a blend, predominantly Cabernet Sauvignon. We've also got Merlot, Cab Franc, Malbec, and Petit Verdot, which are the 5 major Bordeaux varietals. And yes, I were asked to, like, okay, with ancestry or Croatian and the family theme, why are all of your wines named in French names? That's the grape's ancestry. So that's where they come from. They're French varietals. We do have others. We do a Sangiovese, and we do a Primitivo as well, which people mistakenly often think came originally from Italy, but it didn't. It's Croatian. So there are things that we tie in there. But the Provençal, plain word defiance, was our singer for our family. And to making wine as a 3rd grader, little kid in Gig Harbor growing up with Grandpa. That was a fun time. So this one you're gonna find, none of our wines are super tannic, so the hands are those really grippy, feel like you have to brush your teeth right away, just sticky almost on your gums. And this one's going to give you nice little blueberry hints up front, and kind of wraps up with, like, I call it like a cherry cola finish to it. So it's cherry caramel combination on the end. But this one's our everyday drinker, and that again goes back to that whole idea of what they're having on the boat. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
And then our 3rd wine from our wine pack today is our 2016 Le Sœur. So this is our Merlot-based Bordeaux style blend, and a tribute to the sisters of the family. We also have a Le Frère, which means brother in French, so brother and sister. This one is awesome it's got a little dark chocolate. You'll find these nice little cocoa, plum, raspberry notes, some blackberry hints in there, and softer yet on the tannin. So even a little more refined than we saw with the Provençal blend. Being that Merlot dominant, it's just softer. The blackberry thing is yummy right now. There's a cool part. It's something about the way the fermentation kinetics go, but there's always a point, maybe 4 or 5 days after active fermentation really starts within our bins. You get this really cool blackberry color, and it's like super aromatic. It comes out, and then it fades away a little bit. You can still get it, but this one tends to keep that around a little bit more. A little dark chocolate, and this is one that we feature for Valentine's Day every year. Those little pairings are quite yummy. So that's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's really smooth.
And rich. And do you have a wine club, Jason?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely we do. So this is one of the things. I'll give a little rundown. So of course, we got the little Croatian pack we're doing today for folks, and it's a 3-bottle pack. You can find it online. I'll do the intro, the code in the when we talk. I gotta look it up again. I think it's CF Croatian Fest CF 2021. Anyhow, get a little discount. But yeah, for Wine Club, it's really fun. We've got 3 different tiers. We're looking forward to it. We've got the space across the way here, a really nice little terrace or a new location, be able to do pickup parties again. So we do it a couple times a year. You get 3, 6, or 12 bottles per shipment, and it's going to be a variation of red only, white only, or a mixed combination you can choose from and kind of pre-select. So our next wines coming up will actually be a Sangiovese, a Riesling, our Chenin Blanc will be in there, our Sauv Blanc. Sauv Blanc and Chenin Blanc, not Riesling, sorry, that was last time. But yeah, we mix it up, and once in the fall, once in the spring, that correlates with our nice shipping windows too, where it's not too hot, not too cold. We try to do the best we can to take care of our wine and keep it happy. So yeah, and it's fun. You know, chance to get friends and family get together and hang out, try some wine, and prepare some good food with it for our events and things too. So yeah.
Three generations, Croatian realtors serving communities across the globe. In Vancouver, British Columbia, contact Nikki Cvitanovic and Ante Cvitanovic, Team Svit, at Remax Select Realty, 778-926-6464. In Washington State, contact Beverly Perkachin Reed at Windermere Real Estate, Northlake, 206-940-4875. In Nevada and Costa Rica, Central America, contact Don Lane, broker and owner, Professional Realty Group, 702-497-6967. Consult these trusted and experienced Croats today for your buying, selling, and investing or downsizing needs.
Hi, my name is Jeff Adams. I'm a volunteer for the City of Roslyn Cemetery Commission. This project is the Roslyn kiosk up in the historic Roslyn cemeteries. Back in 2017, this kiosk was started by some ideas in the Cemetery Commission from Dick Watts. And the idea was a gathering spot for people that enjoyed time up at the cemetery, and also this interpretive kiosk over here to my right. That was something that he's always wanted to do, which captures all the history of the residents buried here as people give our information. From 2017, we took the ideas from the kiosk and the Cemetery Commission, and we brought those to Al Montgomery of Montgomery Design in Clallam, Washington, who'd volunteered his services to design and draw up the kiosk as we needed, and however we'd like the design. And he took all those ideas, and this is the project that we came up with. It is absolutely Al Montgomery's design, and he just nailed it for the City of Roslyn. And back to that, what that did is that led into a grant process to fund it, which in 2018 we received a grant from the state, which Dick Watts followed up on. And from then on, we gathered our volunteers, and obviously some of this project needed funding, from other resources besides the grant, and Suncadia Enhancement Fund was one, PSE was another. Several other businesses locally in Club of Roslyn have donated to this project to get it here. So we started with a bunch of volunteers. We came and laid this process out, this building out, and Alfie Dubé with Dubé Concrete volunteered to do all the concrete and foundation, and we paid for the concrete, and he paid for all the labor and did all this grandiose work himself. And from that point on, I found a contractor friend of mine that was very interested in helping out. And so he basically, at that point, we lessened his fees to be able to build this structure for us, and it fit within the budget that we had to build it. The local lumber supplier gave us extreme discounts on the lumber purchase for this. So it was just really a community effort to save funding and get this thing built. Several subs have contributed, from electrical subs to roofing contractors and myself, to get this thing finalized and where we're at. PSE worked with us to get power. Of the 130 years this cemetery's been here, we've never had power up in the cemetery, and during this process of COVID, we took that time and we were able to work with PSE, and they gave us some generous donations to get power up here. And we did have to pay for a lot of it, but they still gave us benefits of how to get here. And so now we have power up in the cemetery that we're able to use for many other functions besides lighting in the kiosk, the electrical kiosk. And this is what we ended up with this wonderful structure.
I am Stephen Hackenberger, professor at Central Washington University, an anthropologist and archaeologist. I'm one of several faculty and many students who've been working up here in Roslyn in different heritage projects, including here in the Roslyn cemeteries. I first became most directly involved a few years back with the ground-penetrating radar system, and we were working to discover unmarked graves in 3 different cemeteries, including the Slovak Cemetery. The ground-penetrating radar works to a depth of about 6 feet, and depending on your antenna configurations and the way we set up our cart, you can distinguish graves relatively easily in a setting like this. And what we do is we set up a grid and we run our cart with the ground penetrating radar along the lines, X and Y lines in the grid. And then we download our data. It's like a fish finder, but for the earth instead of the water. We download our data and we process it in the computer. And we can look at profiles of our radar scans, or we can compile those together and look down in slices like layer cake to see where the graves are. The obvious graves, the larger graves, adults with caskets show up very clearly. But we've also been searching for infants and children's graves, and graves that sometimes don't have, are not as deep or don't have caskets. So here in the cemetery, there are 5,000 known individuals by name, but there's only 4,000 marked graves. So the ground penetrating radar is something we're going to continue to work with, cemetery by cemetery. The mapping we're doing here is across all of the cemeteries. So the mapping supports both locating the graves, but also interpreting the graves, because the Heritage Club and Cemetery Association have been collaborating on a website and a kiosk here that will share genealogical information and even personal individual stories of the folks buried in the different cemeteries, the 26 different cemeteries. Today, we're actually up here working in the African American cemetery. We're using 3 types of mapping technology. We get a great benefit from working up here in the cemeteries with our students in terms of education, everything we're learning in terms of technology, but also a purpose and objective in sharing this work with the community and the leaders of the Cemetery Association and the Heritage Club. So we are learning as much, if not more, here by working in these collaborations.
My name is Maria Adams, and I am part of the Roslyn Cemetery Committee from the Heritage Club. We've been working on this project for just a little under 2 years. We've put this kiosk stand in just last fall, early winter. We've turned the computer on back in the early spring, and it is beautiful. I'm going to show you how and what we're doing as far as inputting names and data into our computer. So this is the St. Barbara Croatian, and you can see when we go, and you can do this from home, we have some photos that are specific to the cemetery itself. We're going to go, I'll show you the 2. This is so you can see the photos of the cemetery. I'm going to close this out if I can. There we go. This is the Ozertich family. They have submitted some of the members of their family who are buried in the St. Barbara Cemetery. And we have a record that shows a picture, some of the information. She was a child, so there's not a lot of information on her as far as, her occupation and that kind of thing. But this is a little bit of a hazy picture, but you can see that we've been able to input family photos. We've also been able to, there's an article that has a little bit more about the Ozertich family. So newspaper articles, obituaries, all those type of things we're able to enter into the computer and create a picture that shows the person's life and what some of the different aspects of their life, more than just the data, the rough data. We're trying to paint a picture and show stories. And this here is their family tree that they also submitted. And so it kind of shows the relationship of where she is in the family tree. And here's a beautiful photo. These are great. We're trying to get photos of everyone that's in their family and who are buried here. So this is a great photo that shows their photos. This is a little close-up of her from that older photo, so those don't show as good. Another photo of her, and I love this one. Isn't that a great picture in front of the family home?
Zbogom blato i u blatu divne, zbogom blato i u blatu divne, zbogom blato i u blatu divne, s kojima sam muža pasat rime, s kojima sam muža pasat rime.
Thank you for watching Croatia Fest Virtual Festival 2021. We hope that you enjoyed the presentation. Next year, we plan to be in person again and expect up to 5,000 attendees, enjoying continuous all-day main stage entertainment by some of the finest Croatian dance and music ensembles, cooking demonstrations of authentic Croatian cuisine, and food booths featuring a variety of authentic Croatian foods, including spit-roasted barbecued lamb. A wine tasting will feature a variety of imported wines from various regions of Croatia, as well as wines produced by Croatian-American vintners. The art gallery will display museum-quality original costumes, works of local Croatian artists, and exhibits of Northwest Croatian history. Main floor merchants will sell gifts. Other features include activities for children, genealogy, representatives from the Los Angeles Croatian Consulate, information on travel and tourism, and live Skype sessions from Croatia with legal advice on citizenship, acquiring land, and much more. Last year brought us an unwelcome feeling of isolation and uncertainty. This year came with gratitude and hope. And next year we expect to gather again at the Seattle Center Armory and reunite in celebrating all things Croatian at Croatia Fest 2022. For updated information, please visit our website at www.croatiafest.org.
Ako bi se opet negdje sreli, gdje nikad moju ljubav htjela. Znam kad snoje, al htio bi znati, je li bi me kod nekad voljela. Znam kad snoje, al htio bi znati, je li bi me kod nekad voljela. Voljela si mene u pogrešno vrijeme, kad sam ljubav svoju ljagu znao. Prohojaše dani, oboje smo sami, oprosti mi ljubavi, žao mi je žao. Voljela si mene u pogrešno vrijeme, kad sam ljubav svoju mladost znao. Prohojaše dani, oboje smo sami, oprosti mi ljubavi, žao mi je žao. Hop, hop, hej! to stało. Trochu ja się